No downtime to get you the relief you deserve.
See, we're all in this together when it comes to getting relief from that nagging joint pain. I'm glad I can show you some brotherly love, Philly.
Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
Drum roll, please, for Rita's brand new Berry Delicious Gummy Bear Ice. This exciting new ice is a spoonful of frozen fruity fun. Stop by for a free sample of new Gummy Bear Ice at Rita's today.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
If April is showering your company with open job positions, check out Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job today and get hiring by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
After gorgeous weather today, clouds are on the increase. It's a mild night, overnight low 58. And for your Wednesday, despite lots of clouds, it'll be another warm day with a high up to 76 degrees. Thursday, first day hitting 80 degrees ahead of a cold front that could bring us some strong late day and evening showers and thunderstorms. Please stay weather aware. I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan with your 6 ABC AccuWeather forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The double steak grilled cheese burrito is now at Taco Bell. 2 servings of grilled marinated steak and a melty 3-cheese layer inside, plus grilled bubbly cheese on the outside. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours of participation which vary. Tax extra.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Busy on 95 northbound Jan Allegheny up to Bridge, southbound Heavy Cottman to Bridge, and 420 to the Blue Route with an accident on the shoulder. Blue Route southbound Jan approaching Broomall to Media Southbound northbound Heavy 95 past McDade. So traffic on the Schuylkill eastbound Blue Route to Belmont, then stop and go. Approaching Montgomery Drive to south. Westbound Jan, University to Girard, and So City to Belmont. The Vine Expressway westbound backed up A Street to the Schuylkill Merge. Watch for a crash in West Goshen, Westchester Pike at 5 Points Road. Lara Tutela, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Jake from State Farm here to answer your what ifs.
What if I need a policy, but I just can't choose?
An agent can help you choose. At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Paid for by government.com.
The 1878 to 1921 Morgan Silver Dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It's been 100 years since the last Morgan Silver Dollar coin was struck for circulation. And now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right. You can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan Silver Dollar coins, all in very good collector condition with fully visible dates and mint marks, guaranteed. Call 1-800-721-0383 now to secure collector-grade U.S. Morgan Silver Dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American Collector's Pack valued at over $25, free with every order. Call 1-800-721-0383 now to secure your full pound bag of Morgan Silver Dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-721-0383. That's 1-800-721-0383.
Did you know your completely free iHeartRadio app is also your home for hit podcasts? New for you this week, check out On Purpose with Jay Shetty, discussing philosophy, life, and conversations with the biggest stars in the world. Listen today on your free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio! Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Everyone loves TV Dad. On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad gets us through heartache.
Chin up, sport.
Oh, hey, TV Dad.
You know what heals all wounds?
Time?
No, it's remembering that drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
But Jen still doesn't want to be with me.
True. I actually saw her with your friend Brian earlier.
Wait, what? Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D. Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
You gotta love it, or you might hate it, because we might have just jinxed this show. Welcome, everybody, to Powers Parlay. I'm your host, Mike Powers. You may know my voice from The Divide Live. Yeah, I don't get to do the openings normally because my co-host Corey loves them. He always has them scripted. He does a great job. This is off the cuff, but we're here to make you some money. With The Divide Live, we were fortunate enough to be gifted some money from some betting companies, and we were doing insane parlays. Then we joined Fox Sports The Gambler, and Sean Brace and John Jansen and company has shown us the way. So this show is purposely here to show you how to do a smart parlay and hopefully win some money on the way. That rhymed for no reason. I'm in studio right now at Fox Sports The Gambler. With me is John Jansen. How's it going, John?
It's the first episode of the Power Parlay. It's a big day,
exciting, yeah.
And you now and you're in the host's chair.
Yeah,
you know you're the one running the show, and you're going to run it very well. And I'm very much looking forward to these because I'm probably going to be helping out with these a lot. So
Appreciate
I'm looking forward,
brother.
to it.
John Jansen. You could hear his voice Monday through Friday, Saturday, you name it. You turn on Fox Sports The Gambler, he's here. So there's no surprise that he would be helping me on my very first show. So away we go. There's one thing I want to share. Obviously, rooting interest is the New York Mets. Gambling interest, I'm going to try to keep it as homegrown as possible. I've been in Philadelphia for 14 years. I do love this city. And, you know, your your fan base is so passionate. So what I will promise you right now is my Philly parlay for the day will not disappoint. I think you guys, the baseball gods are going to turn it around for you. So you're going to see Philly baseball come back to reality. Right now, it's not fun. It hasn't been fun, but you had a lot of fun last year, and some of your guys might be a little bit rusty. But, I was looking into, I was listening to Sean Brace on the Daily Ticket, and Mark Henry called in, and he was so gassed up. And it was like right as he's talking, the Phillies gave up 9 runs in that 5th inning. And it was like everything was right in the world. Philly fan base just needs to get back to that first 4 innings where they took out DeGrom, and everything will be fine. And I'm telling you, that's going to happen tonight in New York City. So it's exciting. I want to share my thoughts on that game. I know the Phillies are going with the bullpen, but that bullpen is rested. And we learned that today on the Daily Ticket. So it made me feel more and more passionate about my next pick. So without further ado, I would like to share the first ever Powers Parlay that's going to hit. It's going to hit. It's going to cash. There's no doubt about it. The Philly money line, Trey Turner getting a hit, and Kyle Schwarber hitting a home run, because guess what, Philly? Schwarberfest is back. I was in a Wawa on my way to help Jansen with the Daily Ticket, to sit in, watch this man work his magic.
Oh, wow. You went to Wawa and didn't even get me anything. It's Schwarberfest. You didn't even offer.
In my defense, 9 times out of 10, if you text you're not going to pick up.
That's
our answer. I know.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so I didn't want to leave myself up to that rejection that, oh man, I'm sitting there at a Wawa waiting for 12 hours for Jansen to tell me if,
You'd
he
probably
wants
be
something.
waiting there for about a week.
Yeah, but no, that I offer everything. I would love to do that Taco Bell challenge with you, but now.
What's the Taco Bell challenge?
Remember, it was like that guy said he just spent $19 on Taco Bell for his lunch or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah,
if I did a $19 Taco Bell challenge, I'd be dead.
Right. And he's like, I didn't use Uber Eats or anything like that. It was $19 and all I got was a burrito. And we're like, that's not true.
No, I can get about 19 of them.
Dude, that saved my life as a kid. Are you kidding me? You had $5. You could eat like a king.
Oh, in college? There was a Taco Bell on the way to the station that I worked at when I was in college all the time. I get the Baja Blast Freezy, get like 2 beefy Fritos burritos.
Yes.
Good to go.
Yeah. So, and especially after.
And it wasn't $19.
After a college night of maybe underage drinking.
Yeah.
No, but in all seriousness, dude. And speaking of that, that's one of my first tastes of a Philly fan base that I really enjoyed. And that was Penn State. They had a funeral for their Taco Bell that was closing. Like they had candles out there. It was hilarious. So very passionate fan base, and I know it's going to turn around. I mean, this team's insane. You lost 2 of your leaders in Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper, but I'm telling you, this Philly Rob and his guys, they're gonna get back to where they're supposed to be, and you could assure that. As a Met fan, that scares me. We spent a lot of money. The New York Mets have spent a ton of money, and I just see so many holes that, you could easily see this team be 3rd in the NL East and maybe not even make a wild card. So, they spent a lot of money on older pitchers. That could definitely hurt, to the point where I am not touching them tonight. After that performance yesterday, and regardless, it would have been a 1-0 game, right? So the Mets lost 10-0 to the Brewers. They look lifeless. They were traveling the day before. I am not touching them. And I get that. Scherzer's on the mound. Well, guess what? Scherzer's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with the pitch clock. And sometimes Scherzer gets so mad it gets in his head. So I am not touching them at all. I am riding Philly. We are riding that till we die. And Corey's going to be upset with that. But I'm telling you, it's going to hit. They're going to win. Baseball is a game where anybody could beat anybody. And you see it every single day. The guys that lose 100 games, well, there's still 62 that they win. Right. So, I mean, it's just something that you have to realize. And if the Phillies are able to steal this win, they set themselves up with Nola and then Wheeler at the home opener. And then Philly's got a lot more to cheer about. And, we had Scott Braun the other week, MLB insider, but also a host of Foul Territory. Check him out. And he was telling us when he was in Philly for the World Series, covering it for MLB TV. He could not believe this fan base, and he's at a concession stand and they can't see the field, and everybody just starts cheering. And he's like, "What is that?" And it's like the second inning. He's like, "Oh, it's strike one." That's how intense the cheering was in that stadium and how electric this fan base can get. And, that ballpark in the Bronx is very similar to this ballpark in Philly. So you could see shore bombs going all over this place. And you could see the Phillies put up a crooked number in any inning against the Yankees. And I think the Yankees are due. So that's where I go. Now at 6:40, you got another game coming up, and that's your Marlins. Alcantara's on the mound. It's exciting. I think that, honestly, it's one of those situations where you have a guy that is going to be, I could see him better than DeGrom. I could see him multiple Cy Youngs, Hall of Famer possibility, but also he's not going to be a Marlin much longer, right? Because what happens
with
in
Miami's
Miami.
track record. No,
yeah. but in the meantime, enjoy that, because it's a recipe for a low scoring game. So I don't normally bet the under, but I will for this because of the fact that Alcantara will keep his team in it regardless of what offense happens. So I did a parlay real quick, plus 384. Miami Marlins on the money line, the Nerfy, no run first inning, and then the Marlins the first to score, because I think Sandy will be so sick those first 5 innings that you are not going to see the Twins score, right?
Yeah, and I think one thing helping you out too is Kenta Maeda hasn't pitched in a year. It's been a very long time since he's pitched. And even when he did that year, he had a 4.66 ERA. So
I think that's easy money. We could maybe see at least the Nerfy before we leave the studio for the show. But, honestly, it just, to me, seems like an easy parlay. Plus 384. You don't want to get crazy. Like I said, every time we got a credit from a betting agency, Corey was like, hear me out. We're going to bet, say if we had a $100 credit, he would try to plus 1,200. And those types of parlays are things like, if you think you're smarter than Vegas, you're not, right? They know this. I mean, you could see, everything from last night's NCAA game, every situation, they're on it quicker than you could imagine. There was a Sixers game where it was plus 10 and I took them, and then they ended up, no, it was minus 10. And then they ended up winning by 9. And I was just like, how are they that close? How are they
all the time,
dude? It's so ridiculous. It's like they predict the future. So maybe Vegas has a time machine, who knows? But what you need to know is if you do it smart, you can make some money. And that's where Powers Parlay comes in. So, Jansen, I have a few questions to you. I know you're not going with the home team.
No, I am not.
Yeah.
Even that number got way too high. Now it's back down to minus 159.
Right.
So it's dancing around a lot. But the initial minus 155, anything above that, I kind of get worried because it is Domingo Germán. I do like him in this game, but not to that extent. So if that number gets back to minus 160, yeah, I think it's actually kind of fair to bet the Phillies, especially at the plus 138 price.
Yeah, I just think, baseball will always remind you that there's another team on the field. And I love that. And, the Mets always tend to do it in September and they just implode and that's when they lose. So they give you all this hope and then it's gone. Well, the Phillies did the reverse, right? But I don't think it's going to be that same type of year where you're almost like, we need to rebrand, we need to rebuild, we need new leadership. I think Philly Rob will grip it all back together for you. And I think that starts today because you got to think about it. You beat the Astros you didn't beat them, but you beat them a few games in the World Series. You're more than capable of winning a bullpen game against the Yankees. I mean, they're not that, great. I mean, they're not the Astros. So when I look at everybody from, Kyle Schwarber to Judge and anybody that I could see that could just bust open this game, it's not something where I'm uber scared, and it could just be outside looking in, right? I'm just hey, look, this is an MLB game to me, right? I have no rooting interest, so I can put my money where I want to, and I think one thing that people have to look at is stolen bases. And when you look at a guy like Trey Turner, who could just steal a game, like that's awesome. If this is a situation where you can make things happen now, the larger bases, the fact that the pitcher has only 2 options to pick you off, you're also seeing the catchers start to throw down the first, which is awesome. There's activity on the bases for the first time in a long time. And you're going to see that affect the game in a way that you never saw. And it could even just be a situation where the pitcher now throws a meatball to the guy that's standing in the box. So, I mean, there's so many different avenues that you can make money right now, and Vegas hasn't caught up. And that's
and it could be a while until we really get like hard data. At least you're getting it with stolen bases, because we're seeing 80% stolen bases, a successful stolen bases so far this season. So we do have that, but I mean, who knows how much the pitch clock, I can tell by maybe just looking at things and seeing, what's happening on the field, whether or not the pitch clock is affecting. But I think you can do on an individual case by case basis. If somebody like Manny Machado isn't really going to like the pitch clock, then I can know that game or whatever, that for the time being, maybe I don't bet Manny Machado. Right. Or some pitchers who are having control issues. The Aaron Nola thing was completely notable.
Yeah.
So I think things like that individually in a case by case basis, you can figure out spots where maybe this is affecting players, at least early on.
Opening day, I had, I want to say Turner, Schwarber, and one more, Real Muto, all getting a hit as a parlay. And it hit. And it's because of the simple fact that the shift is gone, it's not gone. You've seen some teams be able to manipulate it some way, but it's a lot easier. And you've seen Major League Baseball players say, look, I felt like a jerk sitting out there and stealing line drives from Mike Trout or whoever it was. And it's just so funny that like they all realized like it was killing the game, but they had to play it because it was, so I'm excited the shift is gone. You're going to see an uptick in base hits. And if you could add value to your parlay, you could pick your favorite team money line, and a guy like Jeff McNeil, or a guy that is going to get on base, up that value. That's huge, especially in this year. So you can look at situations where, a guy that normally would hit into the shift, like a Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo is off to a great start this year.
Right.
Joey Gallo. And look, funny. A lot of it because it's the power and his home run ability. Yeah. So I don't know if that's going to continue these numbers, because he's not going to hit home runs like he has been all the time.
Yeah.
But maybe it is helping. Maybe that the shift not being there is certainly comforting for him.
Yeah, I blame Boston for the fact that Joey Gallo is off to a good start, because they did that makeshift shift where they pretty much just had their center fielder take care of it.
And that didn't even work.
It didn't work. But I'm just saying,
because having a center fielder try and field a ground ball, who would figure that might not work?
You ever want to piss off a batter? You're like, that's the way to do it. Start changing. That's so offensive. And I've spoken to guys like Cliff Floyd and guys that are now retired, and they're like, it doesn't make any sense to me, because he would go to Fenway. He was playing for Boston, and if he was in a slump, all he would do is just chip one out, hit it off the green monster, and he's 1 for 4, and he's out of his slump. So he's like, I don't understand why more batters didn't do that. But also they're, obviously there's cybermetrics, but there's all these guys telling them, hey, look, don't do this. Like, don't just swing for power. So they're playing the money ball game. They're playing the analytics, and they're just trying to figure out a way that now we can make it better. And I really want to thank Rob Manfred for doing that, because it's so long overdue. That's why you're seeing so many rules change. Thank God the strike didn't last as long as it did, but it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. You're seeing better baseball because of it, and more exciting baseball, and more importantly, shorter baseball.
Yeah, shorter baseball, but also aggressive, exciting. Like you just said, it was playing the numbers. Mm-hmm. So guys aren't stealing bases, because why would we steal bases when you could risk getting out, when all we know is we're going to hit extra base hits and home runs anyway, because we're all trying for that. But now extra base or stolen bases are because of the bigger bag, even the pitch clock. I think that's one of the bigger effects of the pitch clock. Is it helps runners, I think, start their time. If a pitcher's going down 2-1, okay,
you could take off.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so I think it's really helping stolen bases.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, it's rewarding aggressiveness and making it so guys steal bases more. They're at least trying it more. And it's back to, again, if nobody was stealing bases, then you're taking away an entire part of the game that I think people really do like.
No.
And so now that things like that even have returned, I think it's a good way to just move baseball into the modern era.
Yeah, it's exciting. So look, like when we go through all these different parlays throughout this show, we're going to always try to find value, and we're going to do it in a smart way, but also like in a way that, keeps you coming back. So when I look at certain situations throughout Major League Baseball, the one that a lot of people like to add to parlays that I feel like we should all stop doing, and maybe if you want to bet on that individually, like that's all great, but adding a home run to your parlay, I will tell you right now, it is a recipe for disaster. You cannot predict that.
Home runs are way too hard to predict.
Yeah, it's so hard. Even in the guaranteed ones that in some ballparks that guys just do and stuff like that, don't add it to a parlay. Don't. It's a sucker's bet. You're never, ever going to predict that. So when you're trying to build something like that, stick with the stolen bases, stick with the hits, stick with the money line, stick with situations that make sense, that a player's obviously able to achieve during a 9-inning game, and then also think about travel time. Nobody really thinks about that. Like when they're building a parlay, they're just worried about their team winning, because a lot of bets that come in, and the reason why Vegas wins is because people like myself like to bet their team, right? And you got to be careful, because you have to be a realist. If your team's on a 10-game winning streak, guess what? They're going to come down to reality eventually. So that's one thing I want to stress why we're building these parlays. And that's one thing I always try to keep a critical eye on. And, and also try to have some fun. Like, it's betting can be fun if it's responsible. And that's really what you want to try to figure out is how can I be responsible, but also enjoy a parlay? Because parlays are fun when they hit. Everybody wants to talk about when they hit. I got to tell you, there's more parlays that don't hit that do. And it's almost, Vegas loves the parlay. That's why they're always like, oh, same game parlay. Here's a bonus for you. So yeah, they know that it's not realistic for it to hit. But, be smart about it. And when we're talking baseball, there's a lot of things that you can't go. Okay. Corey is on. Thank you, John.
He was. So I think he's got to call back in again.
Oh,
I think he was too tired of waiting. Couldn't wait a couple minutes.
My God.
Jeez,
my
Corey.
God. My bad, Corey.
Impatient. Is he?
I saw you playing with the mixer. So I was like, oh, wait, is something going on? But listen, that's the first time. That was just me flexing, letting my co-host know this is my house.
Oh, it's your show. It's my show. You come on when I tell you to.
No. Oh my God. Still, I can call in 10 minutes. Yes, call.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, Jansen. Next time,
now you know the power
off,
of being a host.
He knows
you're gonna get power hungry with this.
Yeah, it feels good to not be cut off. No, I'm just kidding. Corey is an amazing co-host, and if you haven't, go to the dividelive.com. Divide Live on all socials. FoxPHL.com. You could see us. FoxPHLGambler.com, right? Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
FoxPHLGambler.com.
And then obviously follow our socials on FoxPHL Gambler and our YouTube, which we're streaming right now on. And we're going to try to grow that thing and get more people seeing our beautiful faces while we're live.
Here we go. I think we got Corey back on again. I think we got him.
Hi, yes, this is Germ. First time, long time. I'm here to talk to Mikey P.
What's up, Germ? How's it going, man?
So not Corey. I got it wrong.
Not Corey. This is Germ. This is, just so you know, like we've built a nice little team, I would say. And it's pretty big, actually. Germ was with me, our first interview ever with Alex Rodriguez, which was crazy during COVID. And, he also helps build a lot of the graphics that you see that we've used on Fox PHL Gambler and on the Give Us a Shot network. But Germ, what's going on, man?
So I'm sitting here in the firehouse and I'm listening to all this betting talk and I'm having a really good time because I live in North Carolina. And as you know, we can't sports bet. So I'm sitting in the corner like a fiend. Not yet. It's coming. I believe it's coming. I do believe it's coming.
Yeah. I've seen that.
I I have to like illegally Venmo, hypothetically Venmo people. Hypothetically, one would have to either Cash App or Venmo or PayPal certain amounts of money that may or may not coincide with favorite sports team betting. So I might be doing that to Mike later. Maybe not. Allegedly.
Well, you'll be in town soon, so you could do it yourself and use promo code, I think, BRACE and get some awesome money with DraftKings if you want to do that. So listen, Germ, I know a lot of your hot takes are crazy. Just keep in mind we're on the radio. Thank you for calling in. No, I'm just teasing with that, brother. Germ is a hero. Like if you didn't hear, he's a firefighter for Leland, North Carolina. He's an awesome guy. The other day, they had an insane fire at some commercial building. It was nuts. I called him. He picked up. He's like, "Do you need anything?" I was like, "No, I was making sure you we're alive." Like you posted a video, and I couldn't believe the fire. So, dude, man, thank you for all you do. But my question to you is, I know you do not like a certain person that loves Philadelphia but plays in California, and is building a golf course now in New Jersey. You want to care to share your feelings?
That overrated bum Mike Trout? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, that's who I'm talking about.
The cardboard box that plays outfield or wherever he plays out there in Los Angeles, wasting Shohei Ohtani's time. That guy? Is that who you're talking about?
Oh man, look, for people out there, Germ does not enjoy Michael Trout at all, Mike Trout. And he doesn't see him as a Griffey-esque type player that some of the youth do, right? So obviously they're wasting a lot of time, California. Ohtani's probably on his way out. Ownership has ruined that team. Were you shocked to see them both in the World Baseball Classic facing off against each other?
No, I'm not shocked. But it's a good moment for baseball. I wasn't shocked. Even less shocked that Shohei Ohtani struck him out because that's what Mike Trout does in the big moments. All those stats he's accumulated, none of them are in the playoffs. None of them are in the World Series. And yet he's somehow touted as the face of baseball. The face of 162 games, maybe, but not real baseball. Bryce Harper's more the face of baseball than Mike Trout is.
I overheard Germ say that was the most important game. Now Ohtani and Trout are going to go play 162 meaningless games. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, man, thank you. Definitely going to have you on. Do you have? I know you can't bet, so I don't know. Do you have a team that you're looking at right now that could win tonight?
Yeah, so when I was going through my Monopoly money that I might hypothetically send you later, I was looking at the Sixers-Celtics game. Now, the Celtics have our number. They beat us 3 times this season. This is the 4th time. It's very hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. I believe the total is like 227. I do believe it's going to be the under because it's going to be a low-scoring game. We're going to take the Sixers because it's hard to beat 4 teams in a row. Sixers are at home. And I don't think that we're going to allow Boston to get that number 2 seed on our watch. And Joel Embiid needs a big statement game so we can lock up his MVP. So I'm going to roll with the Sixers.
Nice. I did go Sixers as well. Money line and Joel Embiid points plus rebounds 35 plus. So I'm excited. Easy money for sure. So thank you, Germ. Thank you for calling in. We'll be right back on Fox Sports The Gambler. And this is Powers Parlays.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We're seeing some Sixers volume on 95 northbound, so approaching across Gerard Point Bridge to Broad Street, further north 95, so Betsy Roster Bridge, south of 95, little heavy Copman Bridge, watch for delays at the Vine Expressway, sluggish both ways, Schuylkill to Broad, Schuylkill eastbound heavy, Blue Route to Belmont, and Montgomery Drive to south, westbound, so University to Gerard and City to Belmont, lays on the Blue Route southbound, Broomall to Media Swarthmore, Lara to total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need to travel, from passport photos to luggage, and now get 20% off your in-store purchase when you buy any travel service. Plus 80-count Lysol wipes are just $1.99. In-store only. Offer ends 4/8. Exclusions apply. Get all set to jet at Staples.
You don't need to get personal, like revealing orange juice commercials make you cry. To get the State Farm personal price plan, just call or go to statefarm.com for a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
The How to Money podcast helps you live a richer life by teaching you how to handle the money you have in a more thoughtful, purposeful way. Join hosts Joel and Matt for personal finance nuggets that actually make a difference in your life.
Well, the number one rule of cheap travel is to let the deal drive the destination. Bali, it might not be on your radar, but if the price is right, it should be.
Right, yeah. When you take this tactic, it allows you to travel more because you're doing it for so much less money.
Listen to How to Money on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
This week at Macy's, take an extra 20% off everything you need for holiday hosting with your coupon or Macy's card. That's on top of already great deals, like 60% off kids' dresses and dressy looks, 30 to 70% off gorgeous fine jewelry, and 40 to 50% off dining and entertaining essentials. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members can earn rewards even faster during Star Money bonus days, going on now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Replace your divot, rig the trap, mark your ball, and listen to Swing It and Ding It.
So, Danielle, our sources deep inside the Swing It and Ding It network tell us that you may or may not be on a bag in New Orleans at the Zurich Classic. Is that true?
Guys, my birthday's April 26th, and what more do I want than to lug around a 50-pound bag for 4+ days? You know, a practice round, a pro-am possibly, and then 4 days of that heavy old staff bag on my back. Brandon's partnering up with Sean O'Hare, and his caddy, I believe he has a commitment with his son or a wedding or something like that. So it's like, yeah, I need to find a caddy. And I'm like, so he's like, really? Do you want to? Because guys, no joke, I've been on the bag probably a handful of times, maybe 10 or so times. And I'm always like, I'm not doing this, never again. Like, caddying sucks. But it is actually fun. So I will make my return in mid-April there. We'll see how that goes. It'll be my first, partner style caddying.
Listen to the Swing It and Ding It podcast every week on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
We are back on Fox Sports The Gambler. This is Powers Parlays, and I summoned my co-host of the Divide Live. He couldn't dare have let me have that much airtime.
Summon like he was a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, I love
and now
it.
for my host.
What's up, Corey?
What's up, guys? What's up?
So, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I heard all the trash talk. I had to jump in, talking about how you can actually get a full sentence without me cutting you off.
You got
dare let you get away with that.
You gotta admit though, like I would be like, are you sure? Like I would let you, like when we got that money and we were told that we had to use it on air and gamble with it. I was like, I kind of gave it. I was worried about disappointing you, so I would give you the reins, right? I would kind of push it off.
Dude. And we went grand slam after grand slam and struck out swinging every single time.
We learned how not to gamble for sure. So now,
exactly.
Yeah, now we've been on the Gambler for almost a year now, and we've obviously have had a lot more winning than we've had losing. So I know you're not happy with my first parlay. It's a Philly parlay because they are playing your team.
Correct.
You care to counter?
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, Philly hasn't really showed anything yet. And I know that they're due, and Jermaine's got his holes, but it's hard to not bet strictly Yankees at this point. And that's what I did with my parlay. I mean, it's a 5-leg, Yankees money line, Jermaine with 4 strikeouts, Gleyber Torres continued the hit streak with 1, Judge with a hit, And then how do you not give Volpe a stolen base? And it's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love all your pronunciations because it's such a Jersey way to say all of them. And I love you for that.
Come on now.
No. And my mom still says dork, so I'm from New Jersey and Brooklyn. So I'm not throwing any shade, but I just love it. But yeah, no, I could see the game going that way. It's not going to because it's my first show, parlay show.
And you have to be right.
And I have to be right. Yeah. So I will not be a happy man. But look, that sounds like the way the Yankees would run this, right? Like it just seems like the way a Yankee game would go. It's too well scripted, and baseball's here to rip your heart out. And nobody knows that more than me.
I think, going back to what you've been kind of pressing for the last week or so now with those stolen bases, man, I think adding that to any parlay, or at least making that in some sort a way a part of your bet, is the way to go. I mean, if someone's going to get on, chances are that you're going to see at least one or two stolen bases a game now with those bigger bases like we talked about last week. So I think if you're going to add anything to parlay at this point, forget about multi-hits, forget about multi-strikeouts, throw stolen bases there because one's bound to hit.
Facts, man. And like I said, speed kills. Like that's what everybody used to say. Well, now it does again. So it's so exciting, man. I'm sorry that your Yankees are going to lose, but you got to understand I need it. I need it, man. So I hope you're rooting for me.
You're going to be off the air by the time the game starts. That way we can't trash talk while it's still going on.
There's social media, man. I'll cut this up right now. So, I believe in the baseball gods. They have proven themselves over and over again, especially when we talked trash about the Seattle Mariners, and then they went on a 12-0 tear, and it just seemed like they were never going to lose another game. Shout outs to J-Rod. He's a freaking amazing player. But look, what are your expectations of the Yankees? Like, obviously you want the AL East, right? Do you honestly think fan base outside of it, do you honestly think that they're built to battle Houston?
I mean, based off their start, I think they have a good chance. Mm-hmm. I want to see more, I do. I as much as I love them, I also have my doubts. So I need to see more than a 4-game sample at this point. I hate to disappoint, but I mean, the fan in me is going to say, of course we can battle Houston, but beyond that, I gotta see more data, buddy.
Great political answer. Did you bet on any of the NCAA action or no?
If I didn't have my wife,
are you allowed to say? Are you allowed to say?
If I didn't, A little bit. All
right.
I'm happy UConn won. If that gives you any sort of light.
So I tailed that. I tailed Brace on Brace for winnings. He had a future bet. I tailed it. So yeah, yesterday was a nice. This morning was a nice wake up to your bank account moment for me. So,
exactly.
Which I'm excited about. Hopefully on Powers Parlay, eventually we'll be able to talk about WWE and different betting with that. But WrestleMania happened this week. I know you're not interested, but dude, it was so much fun. And imagine having plus 550 Shane O'Mac coming out, or something like that. It would be awesome. So what are your feelings on the UFC and WWE kind of merging into some super, company?
I mean, look, man, it's good that they merge at this point. I mean, there's no getting around it. I really think, at this point in time, it's got to be one company, that you can't have two fighting for whatever, and keep all your money in one spot. Let McMahon do his thing. He's run it for how many years? He knows what's good.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, buddy. Good luck, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you, Corey. You could catch The Divide live right here on Fox Sports The Gambler every Friday night. We haven't missed one. Actually, we did miss one.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We recorded two that 1 week. But also, it's nice to not have the Nova games anymore because NCAA.
I know.
I had to bug you, and again, that's how I know you're bad at texting because I'd be like, "Hey, man, just checking what time," because there are some diehard dividers out there. I guess that's what we should call them, dividers. That sounds terrible.
Is it? Yeah, it kind of diehard.
Yeah, dividers.
sounds right. He's like, yeah, that's who we were calling him, the divider.
Yeah, but they sound like haters, right?
Yeah,
like
divider.
dividers.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or like a divider would be like something you put up to divide a room. I don't know. We got to rethink that. But anyway, look, so NCAA is over. You're looking at baseball just taking over. You got the NBA playoffs coming. We're going to make some money there. NHL, that's where Corey's going to come in. He's an amazing hockey person. We also on Powers Parlay, we will dive back into a lot of friends we have in with the divide. And that's Julie Stewart-Banks. That's Scott Braun. That's Todd Frazier. Cliff Floyd. We'll get their takes. We have other people that are going to join that mix. So it's going to be exciting to have them call in live, get their hot take, see what they're betting. Todd's a huge nerfy guy. So he loves no run first innings. And it's kind of cool now to share that with the world, because it was like always like, you never knew that retired athletes bet on the game. Right. You never really knew that. Not a many. I mean, Fox Sports does a great job with Jari and guys like that do share that. Right. But you never really knew from a fan perspective that they're still competitive and they still want to win, regardless of how much money they may have in their bank account. So it's kind of cool seeing him go for a nerfy. Jansen, I want your take on this whole betting concept with the WWE. How you think it could, the pros and cons of it, what you would actually gamble on, and what you think it would actually come to life, like how you would actually be able to gamble on.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. I'll just start off with, if it does happen, how would they even make the odds? Because Cody Rhodes, he was in that match considered the underdog, right?
Right.
But I think the odds would have been him as a favorite because everybody was expecting Cody Rhodes to win. But are they going to play the odds that way, or is Roman going to be the big favorite because he's the guy who's held the title for almost 1,000 days now? I'd be interested just to see how they set those numbers and the explanation for setting those numbers is. But also, WWE is a scripted television program.
Right.
So but not in the same way that you think scripted like a movie. Once you put it out there on a movie or a TV show, it follows the script. You can't change it. Once the middle of the TV show or movie is airing, it doesn't just change in the middle of it. The Oscars the same way. Right. The Oscars just doesn't change who won their award by the end of it, or by the time they're about to come up. They won't go, no, audible. You got to change it to the other movie. It's voted on. It's there. WWE it's a different animal. So it's a scripted television show, but it also changes constantly on the fly during the show. As it's happening, they can change it whenever they want. And they might have to change that way of doing things.
Right.
Will they be able to do it? Will that be enough to even get them the kind of approval to be bet on? I don't know, but it's definitely, a lot of work, I think, to be convinced that WWE or wrestling should be allowed to bet on.
You ever see that South Park episode where like the devil fights Jesus and the devil like takes the first punch from Jesus and he falls on
yeah,
the
that
canvas?
was early South Park.
And he takes all the money, right? He took all, because everybody bet Jesus for the devil to win because he was this big dude and he was smart enough to take all the money by just the first left hook. He fell to the canvas for a 10 count. I think about that stuff, right? Like if Pete Rose got in trouble, like how many professional wrestlers could actually get in trouble? But then my brain goes to more the prop bets, right? How long it takes for like a guy like Bray Wyatt to get to the ring, right? Because you could try to time that as much as you can, but if you get
so sort of like those novelty prop bets
chairs
with
would
Super
be
Bowl
used,
and stuff. Yeah,
right. Will somebody go through the Spanish announce table, and stuff like that? So like, will somebody come out from outside of the crowd?
Well, what I do know is Endeavor's going to probably fight for that, and Endeavor, I think, is going to push hard for it because obviously there's a lot of money in betting.
Do you see with that UFC combo, do you see some of the older veterans actually have a real match? Could you see that happen in a WWE type setting? And would you want to see that?
I don't know. I would not.
Right.
I don't know how much crossover there would be between the two. I think you could see UFC fighters make appearances and stuff, but actual wrestling or being that involved,
no.
I'm not sure you would see that.
I like what WWE and the NFL does. Like, like Pat McAfee is awesome. Like, that So much fun. Crowd pops anytime that shows up. I love how Michael Cole gets excited like he's a kid and his buddy's coming down the ring. George Kittle was in there. They did something with Gronk during a couple of WrestleManias ago where he won the 24/7 title. So I like that and kind of like crossover. So I would love to see that with the with the UFC. Because,
I'd love to see WCW come back.
I know. Dude, I was thinking they should, because WWE has the rights to Bash at the Beach, and that's where I put the strap on Cody, because that's his dad's thing, or War Games. Like, I try to find something that is,
or a Starcade.
Starcade, that'd be sick. Yeah, but look, I understand what they're doing. I mean, if you really go back and look at the whole Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns situation, like Cody just came back, right? He won the Rumble, and you're going to tell me on his third match he's now going to take out Reigns. I'm hoping with this whole Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes situation that they kind of play that AEW versus WWE angle. And I know they probably won't, but I wish they would, because WWE always never breaks that or opens that forbidden door or whatever, but I wish they would kind of open it, because I like when Triple H turned around and told he told Billy Gunn that they would buy their piss ant company. I was worried I couldn't say that.
No, I think you're good.
Yeah. I was like, should have asked prior to mentioning that. But look, let's get back to parlays and get back to the reason why we're here. I have one last one that I want to share with you before we get out of here. And this is an NBA one. And I looked throughout the NBA. I get it. The season's almost over. I did pick the Sixers. I do agree with Germ on that. I also picked the Brooklyn Nets. I like what they did as far as like watching, minus rebounding, but as far as like watching a fun product, like the Brooklyn Nets are a lot more fun for me now as a fan. So I have the Cavs, the Nets, and the Sixers all winning tonight, and that's plus 451. It's not my favorite parlay, but I think it's got a shot, and you got to give it a shot. And, and it's one of those things that I definitely think that could occur. Do we have another caller?
Yes, we do.
All right. We're cooking. So what's up? Welcome to Powers Parlay. Who's this?
This is Greg for PC Richard.
Oh, the manager of PC Richard and Son is calling in. Philadelphia. What's up, Greg?
Nothing much, man. What are we talking about tonight?
Nothing, man. I know you. I know you well because I buy everything from you. I spend a lot of time with you. Tell me. I know you're a Sixers fan. How do you feel coming in? Playoffs are about to start. How do you feel about your Sixers?
Cautiously optimistic. I've had my heart broken a time or two, but we're going to be the 3 seed. We're going to line up with the Nets. We should get through them pretty easy, and then it looks like another playoff matchup with Boston, which has not gone well for us.
Right. No. Well, I hope it does, buddy, because we need that smile going. How are sales over at PC Richard and Son? They going good?
Everything's great, man. The store's been hopping. We've been, chasing our tails, which is always a good thing in sales. And, putting up them Joel Embiid like numbers.
Love it.
MVP numbers over there.
Exactly right.
You're a diehard, man. I remember you going to Sixers games. They were like $11. We'd take an army with us there. So you've been around. You loved you were on the process before the process was there. Writes to Ricky Sanchez. You're telling everybody it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Are you happy with the whole? Dude, I remember one time, and this is going to sound pompous. I was in a skybox, and you were down on the court, like not on the court, but in the stands. And I just hear this guy yelling at the court like it's game 6 of the NBA Finals. It's just a basic game, and you're screaming, you're cheering, you're by the tunnel, you're getting excited, and I got your attention, and it was funny. But you've been there since day one. You love your Sixers, and you've been there since PC Richard and Son opened that store in Philadelphia. So you're a very passionate, loyal dude. I do hope that the Sixers turn this around for you, so you could actually enjoy some of that. But my question to you is, so after all that tanking and stuff, was it worth it?
I'd say yes, because this is the most interesting team in the history of sports. The tanking conversation a little tired, but then, we hired Colangelo and he had burner accounts, and then he gets fired, and then we draft 2 guys number 1 overall, and they both forget how to shoot, and the whole thing seems like it's doomed. But yet, through all of this, Joel Embiid is just so good that just getting to watch his career as a Philadelphia 76er makes the whole thing worth it. He's so good. And even in this city, I don't know if people appreciate, he's 5th all time in scoring. In points per game, there's only 4 dudes ahead of him. And it's like Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain are 2 of them, and then Elgin Baylor, and I'm blanking on the 4th, but it doesn't matter. It's like he's an all-timer. I've never watched an athlete this good for this long in Philadelphia.
Yeah, well said. Well said. It is exciting. I love the WWE factor, the thrust, the process. I get excited for the playoffs just because of that. I love that Triple H came with the sledgehammer, hit the bell. You got it's like those types of things normally add up to a championship, So it's disappointing it hasn't. But you could be pleasantly surprised. And dare I say, if somebody's got to win a championship in this city, and I think it could be the Sixers. We've had 3 shots at it already in my small tenure here with Fox Sports The Gambler, but I'm hoping that we can finally get one because a lot of I talked to a guy in Chicago, Mikey, and he always tells me yo, be very thankful you're in that market right now. Do you know how hard it was to talk about the White Sox and the Cubs last year? Granted, now they're playing way better, but yeah, he had a tough time. So we're very fortunate in this city. If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, you could go to PC Richard in Northeast Philly, Cotman and Bustleton, or you could go to PCRichard.com. But if you're in that Northeast Philly area, you could ask for Greg. He's the bald manager. You can't miss him. And if he's not there, there's a few other bald managers. I know I think that's a requirement to work in leadership there. You just got to shave your head.
I'm out. Yeah,
Jansen's got the locks. Boot camp. They buzz you and put you on the sales floor.
So one last final feeling take about anything Philadelphia. I know you're going to be at the home opener. You got a handsome guy covering you, so you could do that. Any Philly take that we're missing?
It's early. It ain't the start we wanted, but baseball's a marathon. So I can't have baseball takes yet because everything that's actually happened on the field has been bad. So I'll find a positive take. I just might need a week. Next week I got you.
Yeah, that's the beauty of baseball. It could turn on a dime, dude. You have a hot 10 days, you're back in it. The fan base is back. I'm hoping the fan base doesn't give up. Last year, the only one con I will say about Philadelphia as a whole, there wasn't enough people in the crowd because they didn't really understand that their team was still in it, and they got called out by Bryce and a few other players saying hey, we need our fans in our ballpark. We need them here. But when they came, man, they came, and it was nuts. So I'm hoping that energy is there on Thursday for you. I hope the rain stays away, and enjoy your day, brother. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care, Mikey.
All right. Once again, that was Greg Kent from PC Richard & Son. He's an awesome guy. Go see him. He'll hook you up. They have crazy deals going right now with appliances. Buy more, save more. It's unlike anything in the industry. I've never seen the amount of money that they're willing to give back to their customers. And, check them out.
Yeah, they're everywhere too. I was driving down 95.
Oh, you texted me. That was weird. And I
did that. That was I was in the city. I saw an even bigger one. I saw it was a warehouse.
The Carteret warehouse.
Yeah, that thing was gigantic. So they're everywhere.
I was going to say, I responsibly wrote back to you, Jansen. That's how it's supposed to work. No,
and then I probably responsibly waited to text you back in a week.
Yeah, it was funny. No, it was great. Look, you were in New York visiting family and you were excited. You're like, I just saw PC Richard & Son. And what's funny about New York is they're everywhere. So it's just that's like seeing here a Little Caesars. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I like Little Caesars.
Yeah, I know you do.
Please sponsor my show.
Yeah, but all of our shows.
All of our shows.
Got to get Slash on that.
Yeah, dude, get some Little Caesars pizza in the studio. Are you kidding me?
But yeah, man, this is our first ever show. I want to thank John Jansen, my callers, Jamal Edwards, Corey, The Divide Live, Anchor. He does it. He does a lot for that show. with his, I almost said with his mouth, but with his voice. He does a great, he puts on a great show.
That would have been tremendous phrasing.
Yeah, he makes us look like a pro, and he allows me to make a ton of jokes. So I appreciate him calling in. And Greg from PC Richard & Son. And more importantly, John Jansen for covering the boards for me.
Oh, I'm not important.
So that's it, man. You want to play us out?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I can play this with a little, I got to get it up. I can do a little, here comes the money.
Here comes the money.
Just don't tear your quad as you listen to
I was
this,
so
please.
worried. I waited till I hit like the 5-minute mark to make sure I didn't tear a quad.
I know, yeah, because if you would have gotten the injury, it would have been in the first minute of the show.
Right.
So.
And then Snoop would have had to come in and
Save the day.
yeah, that might have cost the network, the station a lot of money. All right. Good night, everybody. This is Powers Parlay. Thank you for sticking with me, and I know we're gonna win some bets tonight. So thanks for watching.
To claim my own throne, success in my blood, call it homegrown. Towards reaching testosterone, power and money got me crazy cocky. No longer need you, Poppy. I know you're mad because you can't stop me. And if you wonder how this player done scooped your honey, I think she.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated